Okay, so um, this one's a wild ride.
Oh, yeah,
We're diving into some serious stuff with this Pakistani election.
absolutely. This is,
Get this right. A top official comes out,
hmm,
admits to rigging the whole thing,
wow.
and then
Yeah.
poof, vanishes.
Yeah. I
Kidnapped.
mean, talk about a story that just grabs you and doesn't let go.
Right. You start reading this thinking, okay, maybe a misunderstanding, a small-time thing.
Right, right.
But the deeper you go,
It just gets
it's
deeper.
like, hold on, this is way bigger than anyone thought.
Exactly. And that's what makes this so important for people to understand.
For sure.
Because this isn't just some isolated incident. This strikes at the very heart of what it means to have a democracy. Free and fair elections. That's the foundation, right?
Absolutely. And I think everyone listening gets that, right? That feeling of, hey, my vote matters. But what happens when someone comes in and messes with that?
It erodes trust, it creates chaos, and it can have ripple effects that go far beyond just one election.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to unpack today. So to set the scene, we're talking about Pakistan, right? And this guy, Liaquat Ali Chattha, he was the division commissioner in Rawalpindi.
Okay.
Now, for our listeners who aren't familiar with Pakistani politics, can you break down what that role means? What kind of power does a division commissioner actually have?
So a division commissioner in Pakistan, that's not just some low-level bureaucrat, okay? We're talking about a very senior official, someone responsible for entire districts, multiple cities, huge populations.
So we're not talking about some small town election here.
No. This is a big deal. This guy was appointed by the government. He's got real authority. And for him to come forward, that takes guts. Or maybe something else is going on.
Because he just comes out and says it, right? Doesn't even try to hide it. I rigged the election. Just lays it out there.
Bold move. And it makes you wonder, what was he hoping to achieve by doing that? Was it a cry for help? A last-ditch effort to expose something bigger?
And he didn't stop there. Right. He went on to say that 5 districts were affected. 5. So this wasn't just a one-off. This was systematic.
And that's what makes it so difficult, right? Proving election fraud isn't easy. It's not like you can just wave your hand and say, aha, see, fraud. You need evidence, hard proof, and even then, it can be tough.
Which makes Chapa's claims even more explosive.
Right, because if he really did have that kind of evidence, well, that would be a game changer. That could bring down the whole house of cards.
Which might explain what happened next. Because right after this bombshell press conference, Chattha disappears. Vanishes. Kidnapped.
Talk about adding fuel to the fire. I mean, you had this guy, he makes this incredible confession, then poof, gone. It's like something out of a movie.
But it's real life.
Yeah.
And the implications are huge. What does this say about the state of democracy in Pakistan? About the rule of law?
It raises serious concerns about the safety of anyone who dares to speak truth to power in Pakistan. If a high-ranking official like Chattha can be silenced so easily, what chance do ordinary citizens have?
And the timing.
Right.
Immediately after he goes public with these accusations, boom, he's gone. It's hard not to connect those dots.
It's incredibly suspicious, and it really throws the whole situation into question. Was he silenced to protect someone higher up? Were they worried about what else he might reveal?
So many questions, right? And you have to wonder, what happens now? This wasn't some local election. This was a national event.
Yeah.
This has implications for Pakistan's relationships with other countries, for their international standing.
Absolutely. The international community is watching very closely to see how Pakistan handles this. Will there be a real investigation? Will anyone be held accountable?
Because the world is looking at this at this point and thinking, okay, if this is how they treat someone who blows the whistle, what does that say about their commitment to democracy?
And it raises a broader question, too. Who benefits from this kind of election rigging? Who gains the most when the will of the people is suppressed?
It's a chilling thought, isn't it? That someone or some group might be pulling the strings behind the scenes, manipulating events for their own gain.
And that's what we have to keep in mind as we follow this story. We need to ask the hard questions. Who stands to gain? Who is most threatened by the truth coming out?
Because this isn't just about one election in one country anymore. This is about the very idea of democracy itself. And that's something that affects all of us, no matter where we live.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder, could Chattha's actions, as reckless as they might seem, actually inspire others to come forward, to expose corruption and fight for what's right, even when it's dangerous?
It's a question that's both terrifying and inspiring, all at the same time. And it's one we'll continue to grapple with as this story unfolds.